Hao Ping was a worrier. No matter what was happening in his life, he always assumed the worst. At work, if his boss called him into a meeting, Hao Ping would immediately panic. "Oh no, I'm going to get fired," he would think. Even if the meeting was just a routine check-in, Hao Ping would convince himself that he was about to lose his job. When Hao Ping and his wife Lily went out for dinner, he would scrutinize the menu and fret about whether the food would be good. What if the service is terrible? What if I get food poisoning? He would wonder. And when Hao Ping's young son Xiaoming had a school play or a sports game, Hao Ping would worry obsessively. What if Xiaoming forgets his lines? What if he trips and falls on stage? What if the other kids are mean to him? Hao Ping's constant negativity and worry drove his family and coworkers crazy. Lily would get so frustrated with him. "Can't you just relax for once?" she would plead. "Not everything is going to go wrong, you know." But Hao Ping couldn't help it. He just always expected the worst. It was like a dark cloud that followed him around everywhere he went. At work, Hao Ping's pessimism started to affect his job performance. Whenever he had an important presentation or a big project, he would get so anxious and worried that he couldn't focus. His boss noticed that he was making more mistakes and not living up to his full potential. "Hao Ping, is everything okay?" his boss asked him one day. "You seem a bit distracted lately." "Oh, everything's fine," Hao Ping lied. "I'm just a little stressed, that's all." But his boss could see that something was off. "Well, try to relax a bit, okay?" she said. "We need you at your best." Hao Ping nodded and tried to smile, but inside he was panicking. "What if I mess up and they fire me?" he thought. At home, Hao Ping's negativity was also taking a toll. Xiaoming would get upset whenever his dad worried about him. "Dad, I'm not going to forget my lines," Xiaoming would say, exasperated. "Stop worrying so much." And Lily was at her wit's end. She loved Hao Ping, but his constant pessimism was draining. "Hao Ping, you need to start looking on the bright side of things," she would tell him. "All this worrying isn't good for you or for our family." But Hao Ping just couldn't seem to change. He had always been this way, and he didn't know how to be any different. One day, Hao Ping was browsing in a bookstore when he stumbled upon a book on positive thinking. The title caught his eye, How to Overcome Negative Thinking and Find Happiness. Intrigued, Hao Ping picked up the book and started flipping through it. As he read, he realized that a lot of the strategies and techniques the book described sounded a lot like what he was going through. The book talked about the power of positive self-talk and how to reframe negative thoughts into more constructive ones. It also discussed the importance of gratitude and focusing on the good things in life, rather than always expecting the worst. Hao Ping felt a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he could change his way of thinking. He decided to buy the book and give it a try. Over the next few weeks, Hao Ping made a conscious effort to implement the strategies he had learned. Whenever a negative thought popped into his head, he would try to catch it and replace it with a more positive one. Instead of worrying about a presentation at work, he would tell himself, "I've prepared well, and I'm going to do a great job." Instead of fretting about Xiaoming's school play, he would say, "Xiaoming has been practicing so hard, and I know he's going to do amazing." It wasn't easy, and there were times when Hao Ping slipped back into his old habits of worry and pessimism. But he kept at it, and slowly but surely, he started to notice a difference. At work, Hao Ping's performance improved, and his boss was impressed by his newfound confidence and positivity. At home, Lily and Xiaoming could see a change in Hao Ping's attitude, and they were both relieved and delighted. "You seem so much happier lately," Lily remarked one evening over dinner. Hao Ping smiled. "I've been working on changing my mindset," he said. "I realize now that all that worrying and negativity wasn't doing me any good. It was just making me and everyone around me miserable." Xiaoming nodded. "I'm glad you're not as stressed out all the time, Dad," he said. "It's a lot more fun to be around you now." Hao Ping felt a surge of pride and gratitude. He had worked hard to overcome his pessimistic tendencies, and it was paying off. He was happier, his family was happier, and he no longer felt like a dark cloud was following him around. From that day on, Hao Ping made a conscious effort to maintain his positive mindset. He knew that it would take time and effort, but he was committed to it. He wanted to be the best version of himself, not just for his own sake, but for the sake of his family and his coworkers as well. In the end, Hao Ping realized that the key to happiness wasn't just about avoiding bad things from happening. It was about actively cultivating a positive outlook on life. And by doing that, he was able to transform not just his own life, but the lives of those around him as well. 单字 worrier, 爱担忧的人 noun, someone who worries a lot. Assume, 假定, 假设 verb, to accept something to be true without question or proof. Scrutinize, 细看, 仔细审查 verb, to examine something very carefully in order to discover information. Obsessively, 痴迷地, 过分投入地 adverb, in a way that involves thinking about something or someone, or doing something too much or all the time. Line, 电影或话剧演员的台词 noun, the words that an actor speaks when performing in a film, play, etc. Pessimism, 悲观主义 noun, emphasizing or thinking of the bad part of a situation rather than the good part, or the feeling that bad things are more likely to happen than good things. Exasperated, 恼怒的 adjective, annoyed, especially because you can do nothing to solve a problem. Draining, 精力耗尽的 adjective, making you feel very tired. Flip through something, 快速浏览 phrasal verb, to look quickly at the pages of a magazine, book, etc. Fret, 烦躁不安苦恼 verb, to be nervous or worried. Take a toll, 造成损失或伤亡破坏 Idiom, if something takes a toll, it causes suffering, deaths, or damage. 这边的 toll 指的是长期不良影响 a very bad effect that something has on something or someone over a long period of time. Be at your wit's end. 因为非常担忧迷惘或恼火而不知道下一步该怎么办 Idiom, to be so worried, confused, or annoyed that you do not know what to do next.